The Modi government in India is set to break the so-called record of 400 out of 548 parliamentary seats, which would be the biggest win in 30 years. And Modi in the parliament has said that he will take big decisions that would last like thousands of years. So there's a big vision attached to it. So how do you see that relation being played out until the current administration of Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh are in control of Canadian government?
Yeah, that is the unfortunate thing is we have, because of social breakdowns and different bad actors infiltrating Canadian politics, we have two leaders in Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh who are highly antagonistic to India for separate reasons. One is an outright ideological Khalistani separatist, and again, most countries don't like violent separatist movements happening within their countries. In fact, every country has that stance since the beginning of time. And Justin Trudeau is sort of part of this, let's say center-left establishment type expert thinking, which is sort of filled with all these different grievance studies. And on the metric of oppressor oppressed, people have managed to frame India as oppressor to its different geopolitical opponents, whether it be Pakistan or the Khalistanis or whomever it is. So you have a very philosophically antagonistic Canada to a very Indian India. So Modi, right, is set to probably form a very, very significant majority, which will give him the political capital to do things that will make Jagmeet Singh and a bunch of snooty Western elites who know nothing about India very upset. I have seen some flickers of understanding of the issue inside the Conservative Party. So that is a good sign for Canada that in 2025, it's likely that Canada-Indian relations will be on a much better footing. But we do run the risk of, there's going to be a year and a half where likely the Modi government will have a very, very strong mandate, has geopolitical aspirations, as all countries do, but has, major things. We're talking about the economic corridor, through Saudi Arabia to Europe, which is very important. And they're, he's signaled that he's going to be doing things to secure India's economic future and their, geopolitical weight in the world as a nation that, again, has over a billion people, largest population. And the common logic is you got to think that enough Western leaders will do the basic math of it's China or India, right? And China is openly antagonistic and India is openly non-antagonistic. Which are you going to pick? The problem there is the CCP has spent a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of effort on cultural infiltration of different countries. And will those interests win out over national interests? And I think the answer to that will depend on the country it's posed to, and it goes on there. Some countries I have higher hopes for. Canada is not on my top 10 of them.
Do you think Jagmeet and the Liberals are somehow holding the Canadian interest as hostage over their political aspirations? And do you think that does serve justice to the position that they hold?
No, I think this is a very important, I think, thing to talk about for a lot of Canadians. And I would argue that this didn't start. I mean, this didn't start right now or on India file. This started when they made that deal, during the convoy. The deal that Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh entered into was a Faustian bargain where they benefited politically both individually and they used their position as leaders of the parties to whip the party. Go together, and the bargain is Trudeau essentially gets safe and stay in power until 2025 because he's deeply unpopular. If the NDP had a spine, they'd call an election and show their political might and hit the Liberals and gain more political leverage in a failing Liberal Party, and maybe they'd be the opposition to the Liberals and then go back into that and build their party. But they're not doing it, and Jagmeet gets to stay in office and he gets to push his own radical nonsense. He has some pull in this alliance, and this India spitefulness is likely close to his heart. And he gets stay until 25 and gets a pension there, so he gets to rack up those leadership things. He can go. He gets to another election cycle. He gets his check for life, and then he can go on and do other things to be a representative, join the farming protest of 3032, run around, screaming about whatever it is he wants to scream about, and throw it off into sunset. And Canadian interests and the interests of the Liberal Party and the NDP party are also compromised. So it's not just Canada's undermining. The deal they made also undermines their own political parties moving forward too.